morning, ladies and gentlemen, it's Greg here again with another unboxing. I can't even pretend to know what I'm actually going to say it's called. It's a Neubau-Fahrzeug. I just can't pronounce it. I won this on eBay, put a cheeky bid of 19 quid, sorry 18 quid, and I won it with £4 postage, so I think you came to just over 23 quid. So bargain, considering I think they go for like anything between 35 up to 70. So I was really happy I got this. I've been after one of these for a bit, either the Trumpeter one or the Dragon one, so this one came up. As you can see, it's a multi-turreted tank. So I've led to believe it was made the first sort of heavy tank that came when Adolf Hitler was in power, and it was multi-turret, heavy and very slow. So basically it was a failure really. So I think I'm right in saying there was only 5 made, and they were used for propaganda pictures and movies and things like that, of which apparently so it says on Wikipedia 3 were used. So I don't know what happened to the other 2. So really it had no action. I think it did serve a bit of action in where did it say? The Battle of Norway in 1940. They were used in there, and that was it. And I don't think they were very successful either. So it was one of their failures, which is unusual for the Germans, but that's as much history as I can sort of tell you about it really. I say it was obviously made in the early 30s, or just after Adolf Hitler came to power. So we shall go from there. So you can see the nice box art. It's quite a, it's a bit like, I suppose, like a T-35 in it really. The multi-turreted, this is the German sort of version of it. So it's a nice box artwork on the box. And I say it's a Dragon kit. So the ends are still the same. There's pictures on there, and if you want to purchase one of these, the kit number is 6690. Obviously it's 135 scale. So on the other end is very much the same, and on this side we have colour callouts for 6 different versions, and obviously we have a decal sheet. So I'll have to. So it's only arrived this morning, so I've just opened the box just to check everything was there, but I haven't opened any plastic or anything like that. But I don't think there's too many parts in it. For a Dragon kit anyhow. And there's a few CAD drawings of the finished product. A little bit of PE. There were just machine guns in the forward turret and the rear turret, and I don't think there was anything else. And on the front turret there's a little, as it says, 7.5 KWL24. Reverse what it says. It's a 7.5 centimeter KWK L/24 and a 3.7 centimeter KWK L34 produced upgraded coaxial MG. The turrets can be rotated and different positions. Well, that's all we know about that. Newly tooled turret with MG reproduced. And it says rare and unique, I can't pronounce the name of the tank again, perfectly recreated. If anybody could help me by breaking it down and telling me what it's actually called, it would be much appreciated. Oh, come on, Stefan, or I'm sure you can tell me. And Jens, I'm sure Jens can tell me. Break it down for me. Yes, on the back of it again we have some more nice CAD drawings of the individual parts. So it's quite nice. For the usual Dragon standard, usually very high with the detail. So, no further ado then, let's have a look what we've got in the box. I've just picked it up a half an hour ago, so really I'm just had a quick glance in the box. So we shall pop that down there. And we'll move that across there for now. And the first thing we get is basically the Dragon card, which now only consists of the decal sheet and a bit of PE. Engine grills, by the looks of it, and I don't know what they're, track pins. Not too sure. Obviously the decal sheet, so that's it. As far as the Dragon card goes now, no nothing else, which is a bit crap to say the least. We have a bit of clear plastic for the vision ports and things like that. Headlights, the usual sort of, can't really say much more than that. There's quite a few. There's two sprues in there of identical, so there's quite a lot of clear parts to be put on this by the looks of it. Right, so I'll put that away. We'll start off with the first bag. I'll start off on this side, I think it's much easier. Still waiting for my blades to arrive. It's getting a bit daft now. So this first sprue has two sprues. The first bag has 2 sprues in it, and as you can see, we have the main turret, which is quite nicely detailed. Let me just bring this light around here a bit better for you. A bit better, Warner. As you can see, it's quite nicely detailed. Nice rivets, weld seams along the top. Not really. There's a bit of texture, but not much. Obviously, if you maybe I'll have a read about it again and see if there's any, any of the rare pictures of it, and see if it you can maybe use a bit more texture. If not, I'll leave it as it is. And then we have some small pieces, small hatches, the commander's cupola, all nicely moulded. The mantlets for the little gun for the front main turret. Again, some more little grab handles, things like that. That looks like the main turret, that one there. As you can see, it's only 3.7, 3.5, 3.7, I can't remember what it said now. So it's only a small gun on it, but so we're talking mid 1930s really, so it was quite powerful at the time, I suppose. So that's the first part of that sprue, and then the second part of that bag we have looks like exhaust systems, quite nicely moulded, really nice, and they're not hollowed out, but they've got a, I might just try and hollow that out a bit farther down when I get to build it. We have some more hatches, which are quite nicely detailed again, nice rivet heads. Same with, I think that looks like the front mantlet, I think, for the, well, it could be the back, sorry, the driver's hatch at on the top of the main hull. Some more main hull pieces with nice rivet details again around the edges, so there's no flash, no injection marks apart from where there should be, where we're not going to see them. There's the axe, it's quite nicely detailed. I'll show you that one there, it's quite nicely detailed there, the clasp. And again, you see the detail of the rivet around the, presume it's on the top of the hull again. And then we have some of the suspension arms. Small details again. There's another, that's the hammer. Again, nicely detailed. Nice little clasp on that as well. A small bit. So there's the exhaust system I showed you before. So they're quite nice. I wouldn't expect anything less really from Dragon. So that's the first bag. In fact, there's only 2 full bags, but we've got a loose one. Which is one of the. I'll show you that now. That's one of the machine gun turrets. There again, on focus. There we go. As you can see, it's quite nicely detailed again. No texture though, so I probably would add a little bit of texture. But I say I'll double check that before I try and do anything like that with it. Nice nice weld seam around the top. Goes all the way around, which is quite nice. Excuse my dirty fingers. Nice, nicely detailed again. I'll just leave that there for now. So we have 2 identical, no we don't, yes we do. We have 2 identical sprues and a sprue that's on its own. So this looks like all the running gear. yeah, the wheels and sprockets and suspension parts, all nicely detailed again. Let's start with the sprocket. Really nice, lots of small little delicate parts there as well. We start with the wheels. Only small wheels I think on this thing, unless they're the return rollers. These must be the wheels, part of it. There's the base, there's the bottom of the little MG turrets, which I've just showed you. Some nice detail again. The small parts there where my finger is now. Little grab hooks by the looks of it. The lifting hooks. Just be careful with these, the carpet on slab. And then we have more suspension stuff. And if we turn it round, we have the detail on the suspension, which is quite nice. A lot of it will be hidden by the side skirt that goes around it, but still there, the detail's still there. And there's the suspension arms. The road wheel's pretty boring, to be honest. It's just a disc really with a hole through it, and looks like there's looks like it must have been rubber on rubber by the looks of it. I'll have to check that as well. As I say, there's two sprues like that, and there's another sprue in that bag, but I'll take it out altogether. Yeah, there are two identical sprues with that, and then we have the low hull, which is really quite nice. Plenty of detail there. It's a shame that you're not going to see it. It really is. And then we have the running boards, which are nicely detailed. Where are we at? Let's bring them up. There we go. With the checkerboard effect, it's really nice, that. And this looks like part of the, you can't quite see it, part of the suspension, almost along the side of the tank. So a lot of this will be hidden with the side skirt. There again, really nicely moulded. Nice texture. It's got a slight texture on this, so we'll see what it's like when it's painted, if it needs anything else. I say there's a few little bits and pieces on there again, front muck guards or rear, whichever. A couple of small parts again. Yeah, and let's see when it was made. I think it's a new tooling, so it says in the box, but I don't know all the tooling is. And then we have a little sprue here. I think it's got some more Pioneer tools on the yeah, Pioneer tools. Got some nicely moulded. Really are nice, them, aren't they? On focus, focus, focus. There we go. Nice axe, bolt cutters, with a hammer, metal bars. Shovel's quite nice. Again, there's the detail. Again, it's really quite nice. And on the other little sprue, we have the jack, which looks like it's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts for the jack bit there. Again, it's nicely detailed again. Not bad at all. It's a bit excessive for a jack, but it's dragging. So we shall just pop them in the other box for now. Right, and then we have the upper hull. As you can see, it's almost box shaped. Really nice though. Really nice detail. Lovely detail. Really quite nice. It's an unusual shaped little thing, but I'm sure it'll come out nice. Nice detail, nice that little bit of texture as well on it, and on the rivets. It'll come out nicely with a nice pin wash. It's quite nice. Up the deck. Nice rivets around the hatches. Weld seams along the catch them. Let's have a look where we are. There we are. Right along there. The side of the hull to the top of the hull. All the way around, quite nice. Nicely detailed again. So I think it'll build up into a nice little kit. I've been after it for a while, but I just didn't take the plunge. I thought I'll put a cheeky bid in for this, and I'm surprised I won it, considering what they're going for on eBay and other places. And then we have the tracks, which look very, very, very delicate indeed. Let me see, let's just take one of these out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. 7, that's right. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 7 screws, all identical. There's only three points that you have to take off to clean. So there's the rear of the. Let's just get my hand. Let's just, yeah, bring it a bit closer. You can see that. That's the outside. And say there's no ugly injection marks. Mind you, there's not much there to be put an injection mark. So that's the outside, and this is the rear. So the inside of the tracks. You see with the guide horns on them. There's quite a lot of linkage to be done, but nicely moulded. I do like that. I do like the small track. They look nice. Look nice. Let me just check all these screws are the same. Yeah, they're all the same. So there must be are they all guide horns on them? Let me just check, see if they are all the same. All the guide horns on them, is it? Yeah. Yeah, they're all the same. I'll just check the bottom one. Yeah, they've all got guide horns on every track. So they'll take quite a bit of time to do and effort, but you know, just spend your bit of time, don't rush. You know, just take them off. You can click, just do a sprue at a time or whatever. How you do it? I tend to cut them all off the sprues into a container, and then if I have a sort of quiet 15-20 minutes, just do a few, go on to something else, and come back and do them. You know, you don't have to take them all off and go in one go, but they're nicely detailed. It will be nice to. I've never built any tracks that is as small as this, so it'll be quite interesting to do. Quite looking forward to that. Masochist that I am. Things like that. And then we come to the famous Dragon instructions. As you can see, we have a few spare parts. Not as many as normal, but there's a few for the spare box. Oh. There's a picture on the front again. It doesn't give you any information of anything like that. It just gives you a picture and the typical Dragon instructions if we can get into them. On that side, wouldn't it? So number one obviously is the building up of the wheels and the suspension and the sprocket. You know, that's nice. You know, it's typical Dragon, but I think they're quite easy to understand, these ones, because there's not a lot of parts. As you can see, there's quite a few wheels on each side. And I think I showed you before for the suspension to go on, and then they say they're put onto the hull. So we're right into the suspension and the hull straight away. We'll step 1 and 2. I wish they do booklets. There we go, kind of everything in the world. And then we have the testing of the bottom of the tank, and a couple of hooks and shackles. Yeah, I was right, and there's the front of the tank with the another hatch cover. Shackle again. More hatches to put on. So we can have more claws, spare wheels by the looks of it. Oh no, they're your return rollers, sorry. They go on the top in the little grooves. And then it's telling you to build the tracks. Again. And then we have them running boards with the tools on again. Jack. Obviously they're all broken down into subsections to put onto there. Well, the jack is anyhow. It doesn't really say how many links per side, does it? I'll have to have a look and read that properly there. I can't see anything on the tracks. No. Just says ×2, but it doesn't tell you how many. Well, I'll have to find out that. That's a bit daft. There you go, typical dragon again. Would have been a help to see how many pieces each side, but no. So I'll have to look at counting first and then just half them from there. And then we're starting on the upper deck again with more, you know, more of the Pioneer tools, sorry, bad like that. The axe and other bits and pieces. That looks like the headlight. So I won't be putting the tracks on at this point, I don't think, unless I need to. We're starting off with the exhaust system, which is on their other running board, and more tools, front mud guards, other little bits and pieces, covers for the engine, I presume, and there's that. Yeah, it goes in the rear of the tank. That gives you an alternative part there. Let's give you, yeah, there's an alternative part there. There's 16 and I think it's PE you can put on that, so the plastic gives you optional plastic or PE. We shall see, probably use the PE, and then on step. So there's a problem with the dragon instructions. It's, you know, it's all not broken up, if you know what I mean. It's all just one, like, thrown on one page, and finish that part there and put it there, and then start the line, and then saying step 8 and things like that. But luckily there's not a great deal of parts in there, so it won't be too bad to follow. And then we're starting on number 11. He's starting to do the main turret. So there's quite a few parts of that main turret, all the hatches and the MG machine gun and commander's cupola and all these little bits and pieces, lifting hooks. So the commander's cupola is 1, 2, 3, 5 pieces for the commander's cupola again. No options shut or close, all depending on. Hopefully I'd like to have them open, I think. Because I have a couple of resin figures come on little tank, German tank commanders and things, so I shall probably have my first go at resin figures with those. And then we have the gun, which is in, you know, 2 parts, but the seam shouldn't be too hard to get out of that, really. And then we're doing the where's the MG? Where's it telling you to do the small one first? That must be the main one. Yeah. Main one. And then B just tells you, I'll have to go back and read that, just tells you the small ones have been done. Let me just check that, the top one. And that must be the top turret, the little main turret, does it say ×2 anywhere? Yeah, ×2, so the top turrets, just to remain about Dragon, they don't really make it clear that the top turret is the 2 MG turrets, and then we start on the main turret, and then obviously we attach those to the lower hull. Basically that's the build finished, and then we have painting of the markings, and they're all just saying 1940, the top one for Norway. PZABT, that's ZB B40 Norway 1940, and again 1940, and then I won't even attempt to say that word, in 1940 in Germany, all 1940 again. I think these must be the ones they use for the propaganda. And there's the one with the decals. It's on the top 2, there's one that looks like the German cross, and there's the one with a big number on the back. Again, there's a number on the back of that one. I'll probably do the one, I might just do the plain Jane German grey, seeing as I haven't got one of those in my collection. Quite nice to do something different maybe, or I don't know, maybe even do the top one or the top two, I don't know, when we get to it. But as you can see, it's a relatively straightforward kit, but slightly over engineered again with parts, and the instructions do let it down, I must admit. Fair enough, They're clear enough, printed nicely, but it just looks a mess on one page. You know, instead of dividing it and putting a line between the two, you know, section 7 and 8 or 1 and 2, it doesn't give you that break up. It just says that, you know, a bit of a mess in here. These little pieces all on each side, and doesn't really give you, you know. Well, that's me. That's just me. So that's it really. So it was a nice little kit. I'm quite pleased I got it, especially for the price I paid for it. So, you know, it's always good just to put a little cheeky bid, because you never know, do you? And I say I didn't think I'd win with that, but I did. And I say it came from eBay, and it was within 3 days, I think. Was it 3 or 4 days? So happy days with it. So I'd like to say thank you very much for watching and taking time out of your day to do so. I'd like to thank all my subscribers and my new subscribers. I hope you like the content that I do. If you can tell me anything that I need to do better, or just leave it in the comments box and I'll take it on board. So this is Greg signing off, and we shall see you soon with an update on the buddy build with John of the KV122. So this is Greg signing off, and we'll see you soon.